Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. This is Jenga Njero. Now, today we have the matchmaker show, and you understand the protocol here. Any other time we have a woman on board, that woman must be looking for a man. In the same way, when we have a man on board, that man must be looking for a woman. Today we have a woman, and she's coming from the United States of America. She's a Kenyan by birth, but working and living in the US. So I want you to be very keen so that you can listen to her story, and after which I will share her phone number on my Facebook page at Jenganjero. So you can follow Jenganjero on Facebook and you'll be getting these updates in real time. Our guest on today's show is a 61-year-old single lady. Again, you could be asking yourself why she is single at the age of 61, the kind of man she is looking for, and things like that. In most times than not, you realize that a platform like this one is able to unite people, even when they are close to one another, even when they are near one another. But again, they cannot meet if they are not helped through a platform like this one. So we have been able to connect people who don't appreciate long distance relationships, and even when they were in the same locality, they were able to meet on the show. For instance, our guest on today's show is not looking forward to a long distance relationship. Maybe somebody is in Kenya and she's in the US. That relationship will not add up unless that person is traveling or that person is also living in the US. However, I always say it's good to shoot your shot, because at the end of the day, you never know if you can be lucky. So at the age of 61, she's looking for a man who is in the US, and a man who is responsible, a man who is God fearing, a man who is honest. And I am going to take you through the qualities she's looking forward to get in that man, so that you can look at yourself and probably tell whether you qualify to be in that category. One, uh, every person who is working out there, if you are a Kenyan citizen or a Kenyan by birth and you are working out there, chances are very high that you are also looking forward to retirement at some point in life. There will be a day when you will retire. There will be a day when you will hang the boots and go back home. So you will finally invest in Kenya. So she's 61 years old, and she would prefer a widower. A widower is a man who lost her husband, a man who lost his wife through death. A widow is the female version of a widower. And she's also looking for somebody who has integrity, a person who has grown children just like her, because you expect that somebody who is 61 years old is having adults or young adults. So probably the children are not in school. And this man should be God fearing, and this person should not be complicated. And our guest is somebody who loves laughter, and she wouldn't want to be yoked with somebody who is so complicated, somebody who takes matters of life so seriously that there is no time to play, there is no time to laugh, there is no time to make merry. You know, they say work without play makes Jack a dull boy. She's also looking for somebody who will make her happy, because her hobbies are adventure and traveling. So if you're there and maybe you have shared hobbies, maybe in traveling, adventure, making fun. You see, life is beautiful if you want it to be beautiful, and that is what she is looking for. And again, if that person um, is in the US, the better. And if that person is also a Kenyan, you see, there is a difference between, most people think that just because somebody is living in the US, that person is an American citizen. Again, there is a person who thinks that the person is an American just because they live and work there. They are able to go back to their country, come back. No, this is not. I don't think I have, apart from one guy who was, I think, an African American. I have not been privileged to match people who are Native Americans on this show. Native in the sense that the person is a black man or a black woman who was born and raised in the US. Only one man we were able to match successfully, because they don't really get along with most Africans. I don't know why. If you ask if you ask a person who has lived in America, don't mind the chickens. I have not left home yet. It's still very early in the morning. I'm leaving for the office, eh? So don't mind the chickens. I'm saying if you ever interact with somebody who has been to the US, having come from an African country, they will tell you that African Americans or black Americans living in the US, natives, are more hostile to them than people of color, than whites who are natives in the US. The blacks, they have some bitterness. I don't know why. But if you ask around, hii jogoo ni kama inataka ku mark territory ama ni nini? Okay, if that person is in the US and that person is also Kenyan, the better, because she's looking for somebody who is serious, somebody who is God fearing, somebody who is caring, somebody who loves family, and somebody who upholds integrity. She has 4 children. Okay, and by the way, did I mention the name of our guest? Her name is Betty. Okay, Betty is from the Mount Kenya region because her other name is Betty Kamau, and she has 4 children, 3 adults and 1 teenage girl. Okay, and another question that people often ask is, why is somebody single? Why were you single? You have 4 children, why are you single? It is simply because she is a widow. She lost her husband through death. So that's her photo you're seeing on the thumbnail, and I am wishing her well. I hope she gets a good match. And I asked her whether she's planning to come back to the country. She says that, yeah, eventually, because even people who have gone out there to hunt, even people who have gone out there to make money, even people who are out there making strides in life, will eventually come back to their countries. So I'm wishing her well. I hope she gets a good match. And until then, I'll see you in